Everyone, it's Nono here, and this is one more week of the live stream. We missed last week, but I hope we don't have to miss more weeks. This is Nono Martinez Alonso here. This is my live stream on creative coding and machine intelligence. And today we're gonna take a look at a series of announcements and we'll do a bit of web development. I'll review a few of the potential future topics as well. And without further ado, let's get started. And let me know as always on the chat if you can hear me okay and if you can see me okay. Okay. Let's see if this works. Doesn't seem like it's working with this computer. All right, so as always, I'll remind you that you can like this video if you want to support the work that I'm doing here with the live stream, and subscribe when I upload, so you'll get notified when I get live next or when I upload new videos. You can also join the Discord community at None of the Mas as Discord or using that QR code. And last live stream, which was January 27th, that was live 59. We actually took a look at Descript's new features, which we have exported as a separate video that you can find on my YouTube channel. And we also did some work on the drawing app. So we hosted or we added, we deployed the latest version of the application that we had done, the actual drawing application to the web in DigitalOcean. You can access that at live.suggestive.drawing.com. And, we can see it later. A few announcements I want to do today. So we have a new episode with an anonymous guest. He wanted it to be that way, so we found a way to anonymize it by pixelating or using this Floyd Steinberg algorithm. And I could probably show that process at some point in the live stream, how we did that. And I've also made tests that I can, let me actually just, because we're here, let me actually show that. I posted here on the Discord podcast channel a few tests. Let me see which one is the one that I mean. And I'll shut up because this video has voice.
For anybody that wants to look into that, that's called the...
Let me see why this is not being captured from here in Discord. Okay, let's test again.
The BIP 39 protocol, I think. Bitcoin Improvement Protocol 39 is where they made it so that you could put those 12 or sometimes 24 words together and derive your public keys or your private keys. That derives your private keys, which, yeah, it's very weird.
Right, so this is just an example of what you can do with Descript, and we actually released the entire episode that way. And here I'm gonna also play the new intro. Hey, it's Nono of the podcast. Hey, it's Nono, and this is the Getting Simple podcast. Okay, so yeah, just a little teaser if you haven't seen it yet. Those are on the website and also on YouTube. And in this episode, we talk, among many other things, about anonymity, Web3, blockchain, NFTs, smart contracts, pair programming, imposter syndrome, the constant UV, many, many chapters as you can see here. We have, and hi, Jose Luis, glad to see you around. And we also, I also have two other interviews which we've already edited. One is with a conversation with Nate Peters, and another one is with Adam Menges. So we'll be releasing those soon, hopefully. And I'm still pending of recording some other ones, including one with Andrew Witt. Okay, as always, you can submit questions at gettingsimple.com/ask about these episodes or any previous episodes or even about the live stream. You just go to that website, you just record a voice note, send it my way, and that's it. And another thing that I tried to do, so I threw a few ideas on the Discord server on the live channel to see what you would be interested in seeing next on the live stream. And the only two people so far that responded gave us some ideas on what they prefer. Rob, continue with the sketch vectorization, virtual sketching, which is something that I really want to do, and NFTs to see what they are, how to mint them, existing projects, and things like that. And I really want to take a look. I've been talking about this in all the latest podcasts, getting the guests' opinion and listening to other podcasts as well, and seeing what the space is. You can also tell us on the chat what you think an NFT is or what do you think they mean. There's a lot of speculation behind them and also a lot of good community and a lot of great designer work. So yeah, it's unclear still how that is gonna end, if it's just a bubble or what it is. And for today, I actually have these random topics because last week we had to miss the live stream. I was recording with Nate Peters, and today I almost had to miss it as well, but I didn't want to miss it twice. So this won't be a session of the intelligence and sketching playlist. It will be a more free flow thing. I'm just gonna be taking some time and developing a few web components. I have a setup already with Laravel and my own content management system called Folio. And I'm just gonna set a few challenges for myself that I wanted to do, and I'm gonna try to develop them. All right, so let's see what else. Yep, okay. So this is just gonna be, as I said, a light development session. If you're online, as Jose Luis did, just let us know in the chat, say hi, and we'll see. Okay. Also today, I'm excited. I'm streaming with an M1 Mac, so using one of the beta builds for Apple Silicon from OBS, and it seems to be working pretty well. You tell me if there's latency or if there's any frames that are being lost. Okay, as I mentioned before, really quickly, the project is here. Right? Not sure why this is not getting linked. Whatever. Okay, so Ankit Birla, hi. Where are you connecting from? Where are you joining us from? And what is your area of expertise? What are you looking for learning from this live stream? Okay, so this is the drawing application that we did in the last live stream. So you can go and see live 59 at Masas live/59, and with lowercase. And this is a simple drawing application which is really nice to use. It really, it works really smoothly, and we'll do things with it during this year, not today. Okay, and just as a reminder, if you're a newcomer, all of the code is at my GitHub account. So I'm at NonoESP and the live repo. So we have all of the experiments, and that one specifically suggests you drawing V1 has the latest deployed code. You can browse through the application. Okay, so I think that is enough for an introduction for today's live stream. And let me see. So we have there. Yeah, so what I was saying, I have an application here. And one of the things that I want to try to do, so let me see where I have my reference. PDF. All right. So there are a few things that I have listed here that I want to do today. One is having a sticky image on screen. I don't have my tablet today, so maybe we can use the the Perfect Freehand app to draw those diagrams online. Um, okay, so let's say clear. All right, size smaller, no thinning. Clear. All right, so what I'm trying to do today, so we have, let's say that you have a website, right? That's a bit weird. And you have images on screen, right? So you're gonna have some images. So usually when you scroll down images, they just show up and they slide with all of the content. What I would like to do is that an image stays with you on screen for longer than just the normal time, right? So let me explain a bit more in here. So if I get to this page, right, we can, let's see what we can get. Let's get an image maybe from the Getting Simple podcast. So if I would do here, gettingsimple.imgix.net, and then maybe we can get, let's try to get Adam Menges here. Let's see if that works. We have to use Markdown. So this is the syntax that we'll use. And that image doesn't exist apparently. Oh, okay. Let's try again. Okay, so this image now works, right? And I'm not sure if I have a class to make this bigger, but if I put this thing here, right? Let's say that we just put text around the image. If we scroll down, that image just goes up, right? So we don't really get to keep the image longer on screen. So one of the things that we could do is make a web component. And hi Bea, I see that Bea is online. And we could get and do a web component. So let me check something. Yeah, so we can do a web component to make sure that when we get to the image actually stays with us for a longer period of time. Let me see if I can open my Visual Studio Code editor here. And we'll get to do some code in there. All right, so how can we develop this? Let me see. So we need to add some CSS to our page. And I already have a structure here of files that are called custom or cape, in which I can add new CSS. So for example, here today I'm gonna just call it live.css. That's gonna be our file. So I'm creating a new file that is called live.css. And once I create that file, I can add code here. So for example, I can create a new class. Let's make this a bit bigger. So a new class that we can call live test, and then we're gonna say that the border is gonna be plum, right? It's gonna be solid 1 pixel plum. This is a CSS class that to whatever we apply it, it will have this border. But that file is not used anywhere. So we need to go to the file that actually compiles this SCSS, which is a superset of CSS, which allows us to use more commands. And I'm gonna put it here. So I'm gonna say, okay, during live we've done, and we put here, for example, okay, live. All right, so once we do that, that still doesn't work, and we need to actually run the code to compile our website code. And we're gonna do that right now. And what this does, this is Laravel, so I'm not gonna. We have other videos. This actually opens like a live website of our application, which will have live reloading, which means that every time that we change things, we'll be able to. Okay. We actually need to change the URL here, because what we actually want is not the URL of the site here. What we really want is localhost. So our application is connected all the time to the live reloading code, right? So okay, so let's go to this item that I had before. This is a content management system, so I haven't really done much explanation. We have this Live60 item, and which one is the one that I had open before? Dummy item here. So dummy item is the one that has this information, and if we actually load this item in the localhost 3000 URL, we can see this working, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get another page here to edit this text, and what I want you to see is that I can add markdown here, so I can say live test, and this would actually add this class to this image when it's rendered, and we can also add just simply HTML here. And when I update, you can see that now my image has this plum border all around it. Okay, so that is not super useful, but I just wanted to show that now if I go into here, we go back to our live file and we change this to sea green and we put this at 2. Now this is updating live, right? So we have a live update, which is, this is called hot reloading. Only the parts that have changed are pushed to the website, and we can see those changes. And we could do like other things like this, right? So we could start formatting our image however we want it. But this is not what we want to do. We want to make a component, so we actually have the image as a what's called a sticky item on the web. And let's actually try that out. So let's actually just try to do here. So this is an image, so let's say live image, and we'll save that, and we'll do here live image. What happens if we do here position sticky? Nothing really happens, probably because this is not contained within any other element. Let me see how this is actually rendered. This is actually already in a figure item, right? Which actually, this is something that shouldn't happen in Markdown, but I hard coded this to happen. So I wrap every image inside of a figure object that also has a figure caption. And so in this way I can, let's see what I can do. So in this way I can actually, let me zoom out here. So I can actually go into my Markdown code, add a caption here, for example, Aram Menges. I don't know when this was, maybe 2020, right? And we have that class, and we actually could add a modifier class, so let's say limit. So now this actually happens, right? So we actually have the photo, the caption actually gets into the caption field on top of the alt of the image. So let me show you here, right? The caption, the figure, and here. And if you didn't have this method to actually parse those figures, you will just see the image. Let me actually see if I can go and remove that from the, so let me see where that is, right? So I have this method here to replace search for images and get the alt of the image into the caption field as well. So I could, for example, comment out this code, and now the image wouldn't take all those fields, right? It will get the limit class, but that doesn't affect anything other than the figure, and it will get the class, but it wouldn't wrap it in a figure element. So we understood that now. So if I refresh, you can see that that happens once again. And now what we're actually going to do is that we're going to also add an image just as an HTML element. So I can do here, for example, let me see, image source, and we just put this, and that will be our image. So let's see what happens now. So now this is just showing the image, but we could actually also have something. Let's put this here. Something like this. So we have, for example, div class, let's see, let's just put live sticky image div. Okay, so let's now go into, because we already have that class, let's go into, let's actually close these things for the computer not to go slow. Okay, and now we can go into development mode here, so we can put this side by side. So now we'll get the code next to the application. Right, so you have the image that goes there, and in here we need to put live sticky image, and then we'll do background color plan just to see if this is actually there and working. Okay, that works, and I guess now we need to do something here so the image is at 100%. Okay, so this is working. Let's try to add some padding, maybe 15 rem and 0, right? So now we have that concept of like the image being here, and then having some space all around it. And what I think I want to do now is just try to see, so this would have a position relative property, and this is going to be position sticky top 0. Let's see what happens now. Ha, nothing happens. Position sticky position relative. So that's padding, but what if we put here height, like maybe 40 rem? Let me, we need to have a height. No. Okay, so let's actually Google the sticky property. All right, so this is sticky. Position sticky. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is intended to work this way, or maybe we need to make the div itself position sticky top 0. Let's see, maybe that's what it is. Hmm. So I'm thinking because I think we need to have a high level item for this to be able to be sticky. So I'm not sure. So if we look at this example, try it yourself. You actually see that the div is sticky and the body is what's actually scrolling, right? So we have the scrolling feature on the body. But if we had something like this, right? So it still stays as sticky, but it only gets to be sticky within this space. This is actually what I want to do. So it stays until a specific area, not until, not all the time. Stays with you, and then it goes. Div body. Okay, let's go back. Let's try this WebKit sticky just in case. Hmm. Can an image be sticky? Let's see. Okay, so this one works, and I'm just trying to see if we just need to make the parent object have a like an explicit position property. So we are inside of the body. This is position sticky. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think this is a failure experiment. So this works, but not within the current layout that I'm using. So just to make sure that we can get it done right now, I'm gonna copy this. So let me see, item live sticky or item sticky. I'm gonna create a new template, and that way this one we can modify. We're gonna branch out from the one that we were using before. I'm gonna remove this menu and this menu, no background. And here we have this content, all of this content. So for now, I'm gonna hide everything. I'm gonna hide everything. And I'm just, actually, I'm gonna delete everything, and I'm just gonna get the content that we care about, which is the HTML text. We're gonna put it here. So item HTML text, and we should be able now to set the template here to item sticky and see the content. So this is ugly, but as you can see, our code now works. So we actually have a sticky image, and I don't know what is going on with the other code, but it seems to be something that there is a lot of nesting, and inside of that element we don't get the right how can I say, the right hierarchy for the sticky property to actually work. So the class is going to be wrap, and this is what we get. All right, so we now have some content here, and this is sticky. As you can see, we need some margin at the top for our image to be separated. So now I need to figure out, is it this that is making this happen? It seems this is, let me see. Okay, I think the behavior I want is that this image sticks from here to the bottom of this, and then it stays. Awesome. Yeah, nice. So that's basically what we're gonna try to do. Great. So what we can do is that I will add some margin here. So we're gonna go to the header definition. So we can see here that we have this function to define the header height, but actually this is not being used. It's just organically adapted by the size of the of what you can see, just the text that you can see on the footer. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go and get from here, I'm gonna get the actual height, which is 78 pixels. So at least we can say so it's 78, right? So let me see if on the CSS setting. Hey, hi, so DBS. I'm glad that you were able to connect today. I'm doing a bit of web development today, so a bit aside from machine learning, but it's nice to get you around. If you have any questions of anything, the contents or anything that's going on lately, or topic suggestions for future live streams, let me know. Okay, header height, photag header height 7 rem. Is this what it is? Let's try it. So I'm gonna go use that here. So the distance to the top. And I'm gonna go and take a look what happens now. Right, you see what's going on now? So you don't get the feeling, well, now you can get it. So there is this moment where I'm pausing, right? Here. And then we leave the image. But really what we want is that this image stays centered while I'm doing that. So let me actually leave this as transparent for a second. All right, so now I would like it to freeze here, start moving down. I don't know. I think PHP was one of the first things that was developed. So there was this thing called PHP Nuke that I used to use in 2004, I think. That's still in development, and that all the websites were made with this. It was one of the first content management systems that I used, and then also probably due to WordPress being the most used um, content management system in the world. But the modern way is Laravel. So yeah, it feels a bit weird. I think Node.js and JavaScript and TypeScript to build websites came late into the game and also has some problems with SEO, and that actually Next.js is trying to solve. But yeah, I don't know. It's just one of the ways. I think Python, PHP, Java have been really big in backend, and JavaScript and TypeScript are getting a lot bigger lately. What do you hate? WordPress, PHP? Okay, so how can we do this? So what we need to make, so I can hard code it, right? I can hard code. How can I do this? The top, I could say, okay, I could actually say that I want the distance to the top to be 15 rem. And now that gets pushed, right? So now we do have it on the middle, but that's hard coded. And what we actually want this to do is, because if I'm here, now the image is not centered, and we would like it to stay centered as much as possible. So I guess we need to get an equation, which is, so our equation should be inside this. Okay, so our tip is, so here we have like a web browser, and we want to have a desired width, and then this here is going to be the height of the browser. So this is actually height. So this is height, and this is window height. So this here is gonna be the window height minus the height of the image divided 2. You mean any tips for this? For OCD? As Sodivius? And yeah, so that would be what we need to do. So I'm wondering if we could do that dynamically to adjust this height here. and maybe also we get to adjust the height based on the browser width. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. Okay, so yeah, maybe this is something that I can try to get done. Mm, so this would imply adding some JavaScript, and yeah, for that we need to see where we are actually scrolling to. Hmm. I guess we can specify, we can do it in another way. So we could actually say that the the height of the image is going to be mm, the what? How was this? VH, viewport, VW, I think. VH? All right. Viewport height, viewport width. Viewport height. I think this is bigger than the viewport height. Viewport, maybe 100. Okay, so now it seems like the image fits on the viewport. So we could do, say, okay, it's going to be 80% of the viewport. Maybe let's do it smaller. So 50% of the viewport. Cool. And then to the top, we'll get 25% of the viewport, which is 25%. Do we then get it? Okay, nice. So now we see the image, but as soon as we get it in the center of the screen, we get it there. And it's always on the center, and we didn't have to do any JavaScript. So this is sort of magic. So if you were scrolling this page now, you'll find this and it'll stay there for a bit with you. So let's change this a bit. Let's put another person here. Let's see which one. Okay, I got another one. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is copy this block. So I'm gonna leave, well, I'm gonna leave this as it is, and I'm gonna copy another block of images. So we're gonna have another image here with this other image. So now when we go down, we see that one, and here we see that one. All right. Cool. And I wonder now, maybe with With JavaScript, maybe we could apply some effect when this comes into view, like a little zooming in or zooming out. But yeah, I guess this covers this sticky image, and then maybe this is a different item. Yeah, so DBS, nice to for staying around, and yeah, we'll be releasing the podcast really soon. We showed, I don't know if you saw it, we showed the intro before, and I brought back the theme song thanks to your suggestion, so thank you. And yeah, see you on Discord. See you soon. Bye. All right. So yeah, I'm also gonna do a large quote. So a new layout, you mean with this website? So what this website is that the question? If that is the question, no, I'm just using placeholder images from the Getting Simple podcast because those are ones that I have easily accessible. I'm just developing some web components that I want to develop for some other things. And I wanted to do it live to basically not miss today's live stream and be able to continue doing these things. Yeah. All right. So let's try to now do a different type of quote. So for example, we'll do live quote big, and we'll put here the font family is going to be font serif, and the font size is going to be 2rem. Yeah, so it's so DVS is basically not, but there are definitely some of these components that I might reuse for the Getting Simple website, because these are cool interactive elements that maybe we could do use them for some of the layouts on the site. Okay, so live quote big. How would I go and use this? I would go and edit the item, and I could put it maybe here, so we could just get one of these sentences. Let's actually just get something from the podcast so we fill in content. Right, so for example, this one, we'll just put the sentence, and once we put the sentence there, we can add here a space and then put here live quote big, and that's it. And now we should hopefully see that quote. Yeah, so that is a big quote, and for anything that we add the live, yeah, have a great day, Soribes. We add the live quote big class, will have this here. Okay, what else? Large quotes, small text. We already have a small text. Highlight, color, fade, Ken Burns effect. So that would require for us to have some sort of sense of where we are in scrolling down below this item that we are moving away from, right? So I would imagine that we have some percentage count. So this would be for this, and maybe um, and another thing that we could do here is this have an image on the side, right? So I want to have an image on the side that comes after this thing, and then stays a bit and then also goes. How could we do that? Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to give you some thought. Mm, yeah, I'm not sure if I can embed more items inside of the same div. So if I could maybe, let's see. That's a good challenge. Mm, 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 mm. So we have, let me add this to the top. So in here, let's get another person here. Uploads. So this one, for example. All right, so I'm gonna try to do an item here. That is gonna be, let's see. So if I had another div inside, sub element, let's just call it that. So sub element, and this is sub element. Okay, sub element. So we have that there, and it's not gonna show anything, but we can quickly add here, and we can nest objects in SCSS, which we cannot do in CSS. And I'm gonna do display block, border 1 pixel solid salmon, or maybe let's do 2, and then width 50 pixel and height 50 pixel. Just let's see where this shows up, if anywhere. All right, so sub element is right below there, right? So it's here, and the content doesn't fit it. What I'm gonna try to do, so this, we could probably put it right now at C index 1. Let's see if that gets over our image. It doesn't at the moment. Hmm. And as I was saying, I could actually nest these things. So instead of having this image be outside, I could have it here, and that would be the same. Okay, so we have that sub element there, and what I'm going to do is make this sub element be positioned as absolute, which doesn't do anything at the moment. And we need to, oh, now it does stay above, and I'm not sure if that has to do with the position. It does. Okay, so I get the position is absolute, and let's actually put the width to be 100%. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so I've centered this. I don't know why this is off. And there's this one thing on Laravel Mix, which is what I'm using to serve this page. If I go here, I can actually activate the remote debugging tools, and when I click CSS outlining, I can see the outline of all of this. So you can see that because we have this padding, my element is going over, so it's not really centered there. And for that, I could do margin left could be minus, and I don't know, the gap. Where's this gap? The gutter. Okay, so I have a variable called the gutter. So we could do first gutter to test. Okay, so that works. That is exactly the same from the left to the right. So we just need to make it so it's negative. Let's see if just a minus does the job. Yeah, and it seems it does, right? So now we have this bar here centered, our sub element, and I'm not sure if I can do that, if I can make that another. Let me just do margin top, 10 rem, make this bigger. Yeah, so our sub element appears here, and what I want to do is try to see if I can make it sticky as well. And right, so you can see how now the item gets to the top of the image. It stays there for a bit, and then when everything comes, they detach again, right? Let's see what happens if I do bottom 25. All right, so I guess we want it to be in the top and maybe be at 40 VH. So the item would be hidden. It will show up at some point. It will stay there. And then it will go. Right, so that is great. You can see how this thing here minus gutter. Not sure why this is. Okay, so we don't need the gutter if this is sticky in the same way. Okay. Okay, so this is, I mean, this is good progress on some of the things I wanted to do. Maybe we can continue next week or some other day. You can see that now the sub element goes over other items that we don't want it to go. Maybe we make this index 0. Yep, okay. And yeah, so thanks everyone for connecting with us today. We, as I mentioned before, let me open here the slides, I commented that we are probably going to be looking at sketch vectorization and maybe NFTs in the near future on the live stream, so stay tuned. And yeah, I am going to take a basically just a quick break. Well, actually, I think we'll wrap it up now. So yeah, please support the channel and the videos by liking this live stream, and don't forget to subscribe if you're gonna get notified when I go live next or when I upload new videos. You can join us on the Discord server that I've shown today a few times. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time.